this part 3 of adrenal fatigue is going to be about how did I actually find out that I have adrenal fatigue, and that the overtraining was my issue. And yeah, and I'll just tell you how I got out of there and what I did to my diet to be able to recover and all of that. So stay tuned if you have already run into such issues, if you're already overtrained, or if you just want to equip yourself to not run into that issue. So first of all, how the heck could it possibly happen that I didn't notice it before crashing down? How could I not notice that I'm overtraining? I really asked myself that question because it's it just doesn't want to get into my head, because it's I even had these symptoms, these warning signs of my body telling me that something's really wrong, and I also noticed them, but I just didn't connect it, associated with my overtraining. Yeah, so that was just very foreign and far away for me to be overtraining. And so I didn't take the symptoms serious enough. I just thought they'd go away tomorrow or any other day, but actually they never went away. They just got worse and worse. And the worst thing is that I actually thought by training more or training further, I do a good thing. Like, I thought these symptoms, it's good for these symptoms to go away. I thought I was doing something great. I thought that what I was doing was healthy, but it wasn't at all. So don't get me wrong, exercise is super healthy. You have to move your body, but I don't believe in the term of exercise anymore. I don't use it anymore. Like, I'm not doing exercise anymore, folks. I'm just moving my body just for the sake of it, to have fun, to get fresh air in, to get my heart rate a little bit up, but only a little bit, not intensely anymore. And I don't know if I will ever do like a really intense workout again. We'll see. But I'm really, like, I have the biggest respect of intense, like, even if it's short, intense stress moments for the body. Anyway, so I was wondering, so when I look back, I kind of feel, I kind of really remember that I didn't feel too fit. So, but in that moment, I really thought I feel like running. I just have to run. I want to get out, and I really meant it. And I just thought that's the case. But today, looking back, I don't think that it really was the case. I think I only thought that I was that fit because I think I was only in that routine. It had become such a routine for me that I didn't even doubt that it is right going out now for a run or doing these weight exercises. It just got my daily routine programmed, which is a good thing as well, but you have to be that free that you can actually doubt it and change it and, you know, make adaptations if you know what I mean. I just, like, looking back, I think I got myself wrong when I thought I feel like running every day and like that intense and that often and for that long. By the way, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I ran or jogged for an hour every day, like daily, and also with sprints or intervals Or instead of running, I did weight exercise, like 45 minutes, also quite intense, like always with intense moments in it. And I might have had one rest day in a week, but really I can't really remember, like I didn't plan them. I thought what I was doing was right, and that is the thing why I really want to talk about this to you. I want you to know about that, because there was just no chance for me to actually notice it, even though I had all these symptoms. And I really got into issues that I could have prevented, but I just didn't. So I don't want you to run into that. When the symptoms started, well, I didn't do anything first of all, but then when the really serious symptoms came, like the heart pain, like this really stabbing pain and the palpitations, and I just couldn't sleep at night anymore. I had problems falling asleep and waking up and sleeping through, and when I just started to feel really miserable, I went to the doctor and got diagnosed by him being close to diabetes type 2. Didn't know if I wanted to laugh or cry at that moment, but I like in the next second I really knew it's just wrong. I had educated myself before, and I already had come across that term adrenal fatigue, and I already identified with almost all symptoms that adrenal fatigue can have. There are online tests where you can just check off symptoms, like really thorough tests, which you can do, and I did them, and basically there was just no question that I had adrenal fatigue. And I just found it so logic, and like when I had crashed, I already knew, okay, this is what I have, and I overtrained, and I burned myself out and burned my adrenals out. And then I already knew about the unstable blood sugar issue that you get, and that I had. So I expected myself to have that issue, and I went to the doctor, and he diagnosed me diabetes type 2, like closely to it. And I was like, I even told him, this is only a symptom of what I have. It's not my issue. It's not the cause. Like, it's only a symptom of another cause that I have. And I told him that I think I was overtraining, and I told him what I thought I had. He just didn't want to know about it. He was like, well, no, the adrenals and cortisol, like, he just answered something like he had never heard about it. And well, yeah, I stopped talking about that, which was really sad. But at least he gave me a blood sugar measure kind of gadget, so I could measure my blood sugar, and that confirmed that I always had far too high blood sugar after meals. Well, that being said, he couldn't help me. So I went to an expert, what's the name? A kidney expert. He also knew about adrenals, like a lot, and he also knew about Addison's disease, which is adrenal insufficiency, when your adrenals can't do anything anymore, like, and it's not reversible, I think. Anyways, I went to that expert, and I wanted to have the saliva test, done on me, because I knew that blood work is not adequate for detecting the issue of adrenal fatigue, because blood work, it detects the total amount of hormones, whereas the saliva test only detects the active amount of hormones, and that is the kind of hormones that affect our body most, because they are active, and there are other hormones that are inactive but that don't affect the body as much. And so I wanted that saliva test, because everywhere I read about adrenal fatigue, it's just that you have to get the saliva test. But the expert didn't want to do it on me, because he didn't even know about the fact that blood tests are inaccurate for the hormone status measuring. So yeah, didn't get that. And he also, like, the diagnosis of him was, so the blood test didn't show up with anything, and he just told me that that I should look for a therapist. So he kind of, in other words, he said I was mad, I just made it up in my mind, and I, like, in his opinion, my issues came from mental stress or depression, or, you know, but I could exclude that. Like, I was great at that time, like, mentally and everything. It was just physical, I just knew it. So I had to get such a saliva test on my own expenses, and I did, and that came up with a result that I had too low cortisol, which I expected, because from reading such a lot I already knew I must be in the third stage of adrenal fatigue already, with a too low cortisol. By the way, I'm explaining the different stages of adrenal fatigue in part 2, so if you want to look into that, do that. And so the stage 2 is too high cortisol, and I knew, like, after having crashed and burned out, that I'm already in stage 3, and it's already kind of too late. Too late to apologize. No, okay, different thing. But I also went to a cardiologist, because I just wanted to know what is wrong with my heart. Like, I really felt there's something wrong with my heart. And I was scared of the results. But they didn't come up with anything bad, which is good. But when I had told my story to the doctor, she said that I had been very, very, very lucky, because it's very common among athletics, or among athletes, that they get myocardial or myocardial inflammation. So that is like an inflammation of the muscle of the heart, which is a very serious issue, and takes years to recover, just like adrenal fatigue. But anyway, she said I had been very lucky, and so she supposed that I was close to that. And I was so glad I like applied the emergency brake early enough, so I didn't get that, because that is much more serious.